First Thoughts with Irreverent Elizabeth Hanna.
Good morning, and it's lovely to be with you here on First Thoughts. I think that's a great title, and it really is First Thoughts from this morning. It was put together while I was dog walking. When I'm out with the dog, I always have my phone with me. And of course, on the phone, I have the daily lectionary. And that means that as I walk along, I've got access to the scripture readings for the day. Now, the dog is relatively new to me. He's 18 months old, but I've only had him for 5 months. And of course, most mornings we're on the beach, and what you have there is the lovely gentle sound, as it was this morning, of the waves coming in on the stones. There was a gentle breeze, and of course lots of birds in the air. So that's the backdrop to where I was this morning as I read the lectionary. And what a lovely passage we have for today. It's from Matthew 11 and the last 3 verses. Jesus says, "Come to me, all you that are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And it seems to me that today an awful lot of people are feeling very weary. Weary having had to live through this pandemic, weary physically and mentally, just totally exhausted. Day after day, restricted movement, loss of many of the normal social contacts we have, and endless information and speculation. It brought to mind a phrase that my mother would have used, where she was sick, sore, and tired of hearing all the doom and gloom and misinformation, because a lot of the claims have been based on nothing scientific or medical. And so people are physically and mentally exhausted, just weary of it all and overburdened with fear and anxiety. So when Jesus says to us, the care-laden, the troubled, the drained, the dog-tired people, "Come to me, I will give you rest." Rest. Now, I don't for 1 minute think that Jesus means he's going to give us some nice, comfortable silk cushions and we're just to lie back and do nothing. What Jesus goes on to say clarifies this, because he gives us burdens and responsibilities. He gives us work to do, but we carry that work much more easily. You see, as a carpenter, he knew well how to make a yoke for an animal that would be comfortable, it would fit well, and it would be possible for the animal to go on carrying heavy loads without undue strain. It made carrying the load easy. And Jesus, coming to us, offers us rest for our souls. Now, physical tiredness can often be treated with a warm drink, a hot bath, and maybe a good night. But weariness is different. Weariness is where our inner soul is tired, not just our body. And it's that Jesus promises us rest for our souls. I was thinking, because where we walk is near where I grew up, sometimes coming home from school, we'd be carrying, or I would be carrying, a very heavy school bag. And if my father met us, then suddenly my load in that school bag became light and easy. Now, I still had to carry it, or I still was carrying it, but my dad's hand under the school bag made it very easy for me. He didn't carry it in its entirety for me, but it helped. And isn't that what we need to do for one another as well? Because we're called to be like Jesus, to imitate him. And so we can, as fellow Christians, help other people. We can support those who are weary. Our job's not to add to their burden, not to pile on guilt and fear. Our responsibility is to offer help. Perhaps that's just a listening ear, or a gesture of love, or some support. Perhaps it's encouragement for someone to find in Jesus the rest for their souls. And we can do that as we follow Jesus himself. If I could sing, I would sing a verse from a hymn of which I'm very fond. I'll simply read it. It's the hymn that starts, "Brother, sister, let me serve you." And here is the second verse. We are pilgrims on a journey and companions on the road. We are here to help each other walk the mile and bear the load. So may God give us the strength to help other people bear their load. Goodbye.